Hello photography fans, and welcome to another episode about classic cameras and classic photo gear. Last July I was strolling around the neighborhood looking for estate sales, garage sales, and there was this house where they had estate sales, so I decided to stop by. Looking for cameras, obviously, but there were no cameras. But there was next best thing. They had 2 boxes of glass plate negatives, shot and exposed, developed rather, and you could choose one box for $5, and you could mix and match. So I looked through these negatives, and I saw a couple interesting plates, so I picked those, total of 10, and I took it with me. I ended up paying $4 instead of $5 because I guess I'm good looking or something. Here they are. Kramer's photo dry plates. I'm guessing over 100 years old. 2017, I am sure it's over 100 years ago. It's not about the plates themselves, it's about what's on the plates. I did contact printing from them, and I also did sold printing, which is on previous videos. I've developed many prints in the darkroom over the years, hundreds of them. The darkroom process itself is just amazing. I wanted to add this clip in this video just to show you how amazing it is, at least to me. It may seem trivial to other people, but when print comes to life in the darkroom, for me, this is nothing short of magic. I don't believe in real magic, there's no real magic, but this is magic. This is amazing. I just, whenever I showed people that never encountered darkroom how print comes to life, how from seemingly white piece of paper an image just comes out. This is just not normal. I do know the process behind it. I know that silver halides become metallic silver in this process through developing through chemical reaction. But just look at it. From nothing, this print, this image, it just appears. Whenever people see that for the first time, especially that people that never seen darkroom process, never seen print come to life, it's just mind-boggling to them. It's as if you saw a UFO spaceship or an alien species landing on Earth. That's how amazing this is. They're amazing. Some of them are in good condition. Some of them are already falling apart. Emulsion's peeling off of them. The emulsion is scratched. It's some of them are in terrible condition. But I managed to do contact prints for like 5 of them. The rest of them were basically useless landscape shots that were way overexposed. I couldn't get anything out of them. So let me take you back to the computer so you can see on the screen the shots that came on these glass negatives. Let's go. And here they are. Box of glass plate negatives. Alright, so let's start with picture number 1, which I find quite interesting. and let's go over some details. So here I have a plate, one of the plates from that box I just mentioned. So here's a boy and a girl, and I can't figure out whether they're pretending or they are some kind of dancers, ethnic dancers. They're wearing their ethnic clothing. I'm not sure if this is some kind of Italian or perhaps Spanish or some other ethnicity, and I'm not even sure how old these plates are. Judging on the cover on the box of the plates and the fact that these are dry plates, I figured early teens, early 1900s, so 100 years plus. Now, I don't know if these were shot in the States or they were shot in Europe, but that I don't think I'll ever find that out. I bought it from the estate sale, so chances of finding this out are almost zero. So let's go over a few interesting details. First thing I noticed after I did a contact print is that this picture was taken using flash. I know this because, first of all, it's quite, some details are overexposed, but that's not it. You can see some ghosting right here, the little dress that kind of moved, and then the flash fired. Or the flash fired and the dress was moved, but I think it was moved first and the flash fired. You don't see the ghosting on the boy's face, and you don't see the ghosting on the bonnet or any other places except for the dress. Quite interesting. The shoes these kids are wearing, some kind of tight socks, pants he's wearing. I'm not sure, I can't figure out what they are. I would have to look this up. She's wearing some kind of bracelet, and just the expressions on their faces, they're looking at each other. It's quite interesting. It was taken on some kind of studio. I don't know if this was supposed to be a background of some sort, or this is just some kind of or just some defects in the plate, but since there are no defects here, I'm judging this was some sort of a background, and it was unfolded recently perhaps because you can see the creases in that background. So that's interesting. Very, very well preserved plate. Out of 10 plates, probably like 4 of them were quite well preserved. The rest of them were not, and you'll see that in a second. So let's go to the next picture. Now this picture is quite well preserved. Same background if you noticed. And older girls, dancers perhaps. I don't know if this is the same ethnicity, clothing, or what this is. I'm not sure if this is even from the same series. Background is the same creases. Different clothing, it seems like different clothing. I don't know what this is. But this is very well preserved plate. You can see the face is very clear, very nicely, very beautifully exposed plate. But I'm still not sure what these people are supposed to be. There's some dust here, their boots, I don't know what even, I can't even make out what their boots are, if there's some kind of cloth or leather or what they are. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's looking back at these people, 100-year-old pictures. These people are certainly dead. Now this is quite interesting. This plate is not as well preserved as some other ones, but this is a very, very interesting picture. You can see a group of people standing on some kind of pier. First thing I noticed is that the pier has a broken board and a nail sticking out right about here. Now, take a look at this boy here. Let's start here. Let's take a look at this boy. He's holding some kind of string with a toy boat in the water. And the water's not very deep. You can see his, unless it is deep, but his feet are just slightly submerged. Now, remember, just keep this guy in mind with this funky collar and this funky dress sack thing that he's wearing. Nice haircut. just like modern kids haircut. Now, keep in mind, yeah, just remember this kid. We'll see him in the next picture. Now this kid is wearing some kind of pin or some kind of big button here on his shirt, whatever the shirt is. You can see this little girl. You can see this lady here with this boy or girl, whatever she is, and this little guy in the background, probably the least important person they stuck in here. Like, just sit here, don't move. So now take a look at this. These two guys, they remind me of barbershop quartets. But this is duet, so maybe barbershop duet. They both have their chain pocket watches in the little pockets. They're wearing suspenders. Probably the same suspenders for both of them. Even this kid here, wait a second, where is he? Here. He's wearing some kind of suspenders. So you can see the same pattern as the old guy. Yeah. Alright, you see three ladies here on the right. One is wearing some kind of necklace. The other one, I'm not sure if she's wearing any necklace, but the hairdos definitely correspond with early 1900s or late 1800s, probably early 1900s. These guys' hats, they remind me of the movie The Music Man. So that's quite interesting. This older gentleman is wearing a hat as well. It's a thing, I guess, guys wear hats. You don't go out without a hat unless you're a kid, and even the older kid has a hat. Now this girl is wearing I don't know if she's got to be in her teens, I imagine. She's wearing she's got some kind of buckle here, so maybe some kind of leftover belt. I'm not sure what this is. She definitely has some kind of ring on her finger. I don't know what that is, but shoes, tights. She's wearing this lady's shoes. It all points to early 1900s. Where exactly, I don't know. It doesn't give me any specific. Now, this picture is some of these plates that I picked were mostly pictures of people and some kind of recognizable objects. The ones I left behind were plates basically of landscape. Nothing in there that could tell me where the picture would be possibly taken. So it's a very interesting group of people, very interesting. So remember this kid, and let's go to the next picture. So here, this plate was pretty damaged. Very light plate, and I don't know if this in the background that there is the same pier or what, but it's definitely similar boat. This looks like this boat is sinking. We are sinking, we are sinking. What you thinking about? They ask. So this kid is like, oh my god, pull me out, I'm drowning, oh! And this guy like, hehehe. So imagine now this photographer is there with this huge camera, 5x7, you know, covering his head, and he's operating these plates, and this kid is sitting in this boat. I'm wondering how fast his exposure was. Judging it's pretty sunny. You see the shadows on their faces are pretty sunny. Judging the speed of the plate, probably like, I don't know, think, half a second, 1/10, 25th, something like that, probably. And now the last picture I've done the contact print with. Now, remember this lady? It's probably one of those ladies in the previous picture. And this kid right here. They're looking at the photographer, they're walking towards the photographer, they're walking in their field. Now, I'm not sure if, yeah, this is just a scratch. I thought it was a road or something. But let's look in the background. This kid, again, the same kid with this funky collar and the sack-like dress, whatever it is that he's wearing. Now in the background, we can see the clothesline stretched out and some stuff hanging, pants, whatever else I can make out. Now this house is this here might be a well or maybe an outhouse. Chances are it's an outhouse. No plumbing, just an outhouse. Here is some kind of something. I'm not sure if this is a shed or a barn or what this is. A stable. I'm not sure what these people are doing. And some kind of hills in the background. Now this could be any place. It could be any place with hills. Definitely not Chicago, but it could be who knows what. And I thought I saw an electrical pole, but it's definitely not an electrical pole. It's some kind of stump or tree or some kind of artifact in the plate. And then here, there's something here. There's like a fence. There's something there too. I'm not sure if this is a house or just a scratch. So yeah, it's quite. The clouds are very nicely exposed. Actually, they were so nicely exposed that I had to do different exposure here for printing and different here. So I had to like kind of do. I think it was like 3 seconds here and about 6 seconds here, something like that. Anyways, let's go back to this one. So it's just very interesting looking at these pictures from 100 years ago. I just imagine, will anybody be looking at your pictures 100 years from now if you store them on your computer and your computer goes bad? Will they remain? Will you have any? That's why it's good to print something and keep it, because this glass negative, it survived all these years, survived probably 2 world wars, survived all kinds of stuff going on, and it's just amazing. It's amazing find. So ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay tuned and keep shooting film.